What's up guys, welcome back to Grafting Dragon Fruit. It's Richard, and in this video today I'm going to be giving you guys an update on my variety Sugar Dragon. If you guys remember from one of my videos, it was called Dragon Fruit Tour for my new home. The Sugar Dragon was sunburnt and sun scorched. It did not like the area that I kept it in, which got a lot more sun. And if you guys remember, I'll put it up here for you guys. If you guys didn't watch the video, you guys can see how yellow and badly this was burnt. A lot of the branches were yellowing and it just looked like it was very unhealthy. So I had to do something about it. And when I had this variety Sugar Dragon at my old home in Dragon Alley, there was two houses in between, just like how I have it here. So the sun wasn't beaming on the plant all day and the UVs were just way too strong in the new area. It wasn't adjusting to its new environment and it wasn't acclimating. So I thought if I just left it there for a year, it would get better, but that did not happen. So during the winter, it got a little better but during the winter, it's not as sunny, it's not as hot, so it looked okay. It was green, but the minute spring and summer came around, it started to get really badly burnt. So what I did when I saw that, and you guys probably saw in the video, I even mentioned like I need to move this to another area that makes it more happy. I took this pot, I dragged it across my garden and all the way to this area where I have a sun cloth shade here. This is 30% shade cloth. And if you guys notice, I don't use black. The reason why I use gray is because black actually attracts all of those heat and it really absorbs the UVs from there. So once that happens, it gets harder for these guys to grow because all of that UV penetration is not making it through. It's getting absorbed by black. So if you guys pay attention, use a gray one. It's gonna help you guys get more growth and more production with your dragon fruit. So that's a little tip right there. But once I brought this over, it wasn't getting the direct sun like it was over in the other area. So what I did to help it turn green was, first things first, find an area that has midday shade. So that was very, very important for this. Even though we got some shade over in that area, it was just still not enough. So once I pulled it over here, we were getting the morning sun, but by the midday, when it was the hottest of the day, it got the shade from my cloth and from these houses that were blocking the sun. So slowly, each week by week, it started to turn more green. Like I said, you guys, it was completely yellow from all the way to the top, and some of my branches was just looking way too ugly. And for me, I felt bad for Sugar Dragon and I had to do something quick, right? So the minute I moved it over here, so tip number one, bring it to an area that you know that has way more shade. It could be in between an alley, could be where you have trees and then those trees blocks the midday sun. Or if you don't have any trees or an alley like this, get some shade cloth and put it right over it. It's gonna help your plant dramatically. So this side here, I actually keep all of my plants that are sensitive to sun, and just look at how healthy everybody is. Very lush green, dark green, thick branches. They're not getting skinny. It's because the sun isn't drying them out. And even here, these are the scars actually from when it was yellow. If you guys compared it to the last video, it's actually almost fully recovered. I would say 85% of my plant now is healthy and green again, but you can see the scars from all of the sun scorch. This here is actually when it was really yellow and it looked like it was sunburned. And I thought that it wasn't gonna revert back and I was gonna have to take off these branches eventually, but that did not happen. The minute I moved it over here, it became green, it became happy again, and it recovered, and now it's putting out a lot of new growth and even a lot of flowers. So this branch here that I said I was going to remove eventually grew a fruit. So now we have a Sugar Dragon that's almost ready to harvest. I would say about 3 or 4 more days, we're gonna be able to take this off. And we still got flowers still growing. Here's another dragon fruit bud that's gonna be becoming a flower soon. And just look at this branch here with all of this new buds. There's about 4 on there. And for me, I like to leave Sugar Dragon on just because they're small fruits, but they are very, very complex in flavor, sweet, and very tasty. It got to a point where the plant got so healthy, it even put out new growth or a new bud on the main branch. So here is the roots system and going up to the new main branch here, I have a fruit. So I get this question a lot. People tend to ask me, hey Rich, if I have a flower on the main branch below the umbrella canopy, do you still keep that bud or do you remove it? For me, I keep it on, you guys. The only difference about keeping it on below your canopy is it's not going to get a lot of sun penetration. So most of the time the fruit doesn't grow as big and it doesn't get as ripe quickly because it's shaded all the time, but it's still okay. I just wouldn't recommend leaving 2 or 3 on the main branch. 1 is okay, but try to keep all of your new buds on the top where the branches are here. So yeah, sugar dragons, it's nice and healthy. I got about 3 waves of fruit harvest already, and we're at the end tail of the season now. It's at the end of September. We're getting less sunlight. So all of the buds that has been growing are starting to bloom, but because we're getting to the end of the season, I'm starting to see new growth. So now all of these new growth is starting to happen. So we have a new branch here, and we have a little new branch here as well. And there's also some popping off right here. So it's looking really good. Sugar Dragon is one of those varieties where I always enjoy. It's the variety that is very easy to grow for beginners. If you are thinking about starting to grow dragon fruit, I would highly suggest Sugar Dragon. It's a self-fertile variety, but you still need to hand pollinate because it does not self-pollinate itself. So what you're gonna do is take its own pollen, pollinate every single one of them with your hand by collecting the pollen. And I have many videos of that on my channel. If you guys wanna figure out a way to collect pollen, I used to do it in a silver stainless bowl where I take a brush and I just take a silver bowl and I put it down and I shake it all up. Or you can do my new trick where I take a mini hand vacuum, like a keyboard vacuum, and I go out here and I collect all of the pollen in there and it goes into the canister, and it's so easy to pollinate dragon fruit that way. But yes, Sugar Dragon, one of my favorite varieties. I'm so happy it healed, and now I know exactly what to do if any of my plants are unhappy and getting too much sun and getting sunburned. I always thought, yeah, if I wait enough and I just keep the plant in one area, it's going to acclimate and get better. But no, you guys, that in fact is only true if you've grown it in your environment ever since it was a seed. If you start off as a seedling, it's already acclimated to your weather. So when you are growing it in your weather as a seed, it's always going to be nice and healthy. But because these varieties that you get cloned from other areas, they could be grown in Mexico, Puerto Rico, and finally you found someone with this cutting and you get it. It's not used to, I'm in Anaheim, California. It might just not be used to the UV rays here, your zone that you're growing in. So it's very important to assess your plant. If it's not doing well and you see it just get worse, go out there and do something about it. And that's what exactly I had to do. I listened, I saw the signs that it was stressing. I gave it an area with less sun, and in return, it became a beautiful plant all over again. So I'm so happy about Sugar Dragon recovering. It's almost 100% there. So I thought I'll share that with you guys. It's never too late to save a dragon fruit plant. I always tell everyone they're so resilient. They're really hard to kill, but you just gotta make sure you give it some TLC. So that's how I got my Sugar Dragon to recover back to being all green and healthy again. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope it's helpful for you. And if it is, please hit that like button. If you guys have any other questions about sunburn or what to do and that I didn't cover in this video yet, leave it in the comments below and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. And if you guys haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do me a favor. Love you guys all. Hit that subscribe button so that way you guys won't miss a single thing. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Grafting Dragon Fruit. Peace.